A freelance copywriter lost half his income in 6 minutes. When a fintech client replaced his manual writing services with a software subscription that costs less than a sandwich. That copywriter was Michael Hu. The email did not just signal a personal crisis for Michael, it signaled the total collapse of the traditional freelance economy. This is a case study in market survival during the automation era. It is the story of how one man stopped fighting the machine and started owning the engine. You will see how to turn algorithmic efficiency from a career-ending threat into a financial force multiplier. The destination is a professional life where your income is decoupled from the clock. The path to that destination requires an uncomfortable admission. The act of typing is no longer a valuable skill. Michael looked at his reflection in a darkened monitor and realized a brutal truth. The craft he had spent a decade refining was now a commodity. He had two choices. He could join the desperate race to the bottom, or he could become the operator who directs the machine. Part 1. The problem. Michael Hu spent years living in the digital equivalent of salt mines. A typical day did not begin with creative inspiration. It began with hours of manual research. Labor. He would scroll through niche online forums and customer review pages, searching for the specific vocabulary of people struggling with personal debt. He would copy phrases into a master's spreadsheet one by one, manually tagging each entry by sentiment and pain point. This labor was the true backbone of his results. But his clients never saw this invisible architecture. They only saw the final text files. Because Michael billed by the hour, his income was capped by physical limits. He was a human word processor. His value was tied directly to his speed. He donated his strategic thinking to projects just to ensure they did not fail. His real hourly rate was far lower than $35. He was trapped on a production floor, viewed as a replaceable technician, an architect whose blueprints were ignored while he was paid only to lay the bricks. Part 2. The crisis. The problem transitioned from a personal frustration to a systemic threat as the commodity trap finally closed its jaws. The definitive breaking point arrived during a scheduled video conference. The client was a startup founder Michael had served for multiple seasons. The founder was polite but firm. He explained that their new marketing intern was using basic software prompts to generate social media posts. The technology produced blog drafts in seconds. The founder then asked Michael if he would edit and polish this artificial intelligence output. The offered rate was $10 an hour. In that moment, Michael felt the weight of 5 years of professional development being dismissed. He was being asked to act as a glorified spell checker for a machine. He ended the call and sat in the silence of his office for a long time. He knew that accepting that $10 rate would be the official end of his career. He saw two paths ahead of him. He could join his peers who were lowering their rates to $15 just to keep their contracts, or he could move in the opposite direction. He could become so strategically complex that no simple prompt could ever replicate his value. His value was never the typing. His value was the judgment. He decided right then that he would never bill by the word again. Part 3. The experiment. This decision forced Michael into a period of intense innovation. He stopped taking low-paid client work for nearly 6 weeks. He stopped using artificial intelligence as a simple writing assistant. He began using it as a high-speed analytical engine. He created a proprietary research stack designed to process raw data at a scale no human could match. He uploaded 3 years of customer support transcripts and sales call recordings. He scraped thousands of negative reviews of competitor products. He spent his nights fine-tuning his instructions to act as a logic gate. Rather than a prose generator, the results were startlingly precise. He discovered a recurring linguistic pattern in a major fintech dataset. Customers only used the word secure when they were actually feeling highly vulnerable. This was a psychological nuance he had missed during years of manual spreadsheet research. The machine isolated the pattern in seconds. He was no longer guessing what would convert. He was engineering a certainty of result based on hard evidence. He had transitioned from a copywriter into a data-driven strategist. Part 4. The Pivot. The new strategy was put to the test. During a high-stakes pitch for a struggling financial technology firm, the company was losing venture capital due to a failing user acquisition funnel. The atmosphere in the conference room was tense. The marketing director was openly skeptical of external consultants. She had already been burned by multiple internet experts offering generic marketing advice. Michael did not show his past writing clips or his portfolio. Instead, he presented a detailed map of their customers' internal anxieties. The presentation was backed entirely by the data synthesis from his new research stack. He showed them a visual map of friction points that their current messaging ignored. The marketing director asked point blank if he was just using software to do their job. Michael looked her in the eye. He explained that the software was simply the engine used to process the data points. Her team ignored. He noted that her staff did not have the time to read 10,000 support tickets. His role was the communications operator who turned that raw data into a conversion architecture. He was not selling his time. He was selling a proprietary process that reduced their risk of failure. He proposed a flat-fee project that worked out to exactly $120 per hour. The marketing director looked at his data maps, then signed the agreement that afternoon. They did not ask for a single discount. They viewed him as a specialist who had solved their most expensive problem. Part 5. The result. The financial data over the next 12 months proved the validity of the shift. Michael decreased his total working hours by nearly 30%. His gross revenue increased by over 150%. But the numbers only told part of the story. He was no longer a gig worker waiting for instructions or chasing down small invoices. He was a high-level consultant who dictated the terms of every engagement. His weeks used to be filled with the frantic production of 5,000 words a day. Now his time was spent in strategy sessions and deep dive analytical work. His clients viewed him as an indispensable partner. They asked for his input on product development before a single line of text was drafted. He had moved from the production floor to the boardroom. The market was happy to pay a premium because he replaced their uncertainty with a path to grow. Part 6. The lessons. The journey of Michael, who serves as a critical roadmap for any modern professional. If your job can be described as a set of repeatable tasks that result in a standard output, you are at risk. But this story proves that automation is not a replacement for human judgment. It is a force multiplier for it to thrive. You must stop operating as a service provider and start operating as an architect. You must find the intersection where deep human empathy meets massive technological leverage. The $120 hourly rate is not an anomaly. It is the new baseline for those who refuse to be commoditized. If a client replaced you with a software prompt tomorrow, what exactly would they be missing? If the answer is just a bit of personality or better grammar, then you are in the commodity trap. But if the answer is a proprietary strategy and a certainty of results, then you are positioned to win. We want to hear your perspective in the comments section below. Are you still selling your hours by the output? Or have you started building a process that makes your time irrelevant? What is the one strategic thing you do that the machine still cannot replicate? Subscribe and follow along as we unpack the reality of the new technical landscape. We will see you there.